Hey guys, what's going on? Good morning once again. Today I want to do a fragrance topic talk rather than a fragrance review. I already did a review, it's being uploaded side by side. But I want to talk about a very important issue such as like community members even raise questions, and this is a big concern. As you can see from title, it's the longevity issue. Fragrance, is it bad fragrance? Is it everything about a fragrance that is the most important? So I want to share a few things. I have covered this before, and I will just give you my personal opinion. You can also discuss with others. You can have your own opinion. Opinions are you know what it is. You know, you're something secret, and then everybody has one. So, so just joking. But I want to talk about if longevity is the most important thing or only criteria you should look at, and what makes a fragrance special or worthy of a full bottle, or how you should tackle this issue. So first of all, my scent of the morning was this one, Fende Fendi Assoluto. It was a very cloudy, overcast condition in the morning, and really, this is discontinued fragrance. Very lovely bottle. I always find these bottles really lovely. So they have three in line. I have covered two. They have the Aqua or something blue. I think that one is the one I have to cover. Yeah, very spicy. My God, this is mouth-watering, beautiful, more sophisticated version of Spice Bomb, and the fragrance has leather, booze. I don't know why they discontinued this. Perhaps it's not selling, but this juice color is just brilliant. It's really lovely. It's a kind of like a masterpiece sort of fragrance. So check it out, really lovely. So let's go to the point. I'll try to keep it short so you actually can watch it. So what is longevity? There are few factors in fragrance. You guys know this. Longevity, projection, sillage, or complements, or the smell overall, versatility, seasons, stuff like that. So longevity is particularly how long a fragrance does last on your skin. Doesn't matter how long it projects or how long you can detect it, but let's say it's on your skin. You put it on your skin and you can do this, you can still smell it. Okay, at one point you won't be able to smell it anymore. Okay, that's the point. It will be totally gone, say after 4 hours. So the 4 hours since the time of your application, that is your longevity, right? So every fragrance is special in their own way. Some fragrances have great longevity. There are different concentrations, EDC, EDP, EDT, perfume, perfume extract, you guys know extrait de parfum, different concentrated perfume oil. In general, what we understand is fragrances based on their concentration, they go stronger. Like say cologne, then EDC, EDT, EDP, perfume. Okay, so extrait de parfum. So pure perfume has like about 25% fragrance oil as far as I remember, and then the fragrance oil, alcohol free, those are more dense, thick. But higher concentration you go, they go lesser in projection because of that alcohol that's lesser. I think they do not project. If you have EDT, you see usually like fragrance like Blood de Chanel EDT or Dior Sauvage EDT projects a lot more than EDP and more concentrated ones. So if you have longevity is your first priority, then maybe you have to make some uh, consideration, or rather sacrifices, because you cannot get one fragrance. Now, I mean, you cannot get everything from one fragrance. Okay, some fragrances, there's no such thing as a perfect fragrance. What is perfect to you is perfect, but in general you cannot expect like a fresh perfume which has neroli to last you like well over 15 hours, 16 hours, unless they do some crazy tricks in it, like Al Haramain or Middle Eastern countries. But the most natural smelling neroli, let's say Creed's neroli Sauvage, it doesn't last more than 4 or 5 hours on me, but the fragrance is just beautiful. So my criteria is the smell. So when you ask me longevity, how does it affect like weather conditions? Okay, your skin chemistry. Say if you're in a country where weather is very beautiful, clean skies, beautiful air, you can see, like everything is just like crisp, clean. You don't smell any pollution, smoke, no fog, nothing. So those conditions, fragrances are really, really lovely. They give you the ultimate longevity. They develop on your skin very nicely, and they do not die so fast. So those countries, when people say you get 8 hours longevity, okay, and in your country where you're sitting, like in my country, I sit here, and people be like, I get half an hour in our high heat. Yes, because our sun, our humidity, like heat, humidity, the pollution, the smell of garbage outside, these things kill a fragrance. Okay, and when your body warms up, if you sweat a lot, is the biggest enemy on most fragrances. So if you see fragrances, they are built for countries where it's suitable. We still try our best to wear fragrances wherever we can. We can get some nice weathers. So these are the things longevity is related to. So one guy gets uh, great longevity, other guy can get very poor because of the skin condition. Some guys have nice oily skin, like they have very rich skin, but some people are not blessed. Like I have very dry skin, so I have to apply lotion, and then I have to apply like Vaseline or something. Then I apply a perfume. Then in that case, fragrances will last longer on me. But usually, I don't get the best out of my skin. So what I do is I go on my shirt. So shirt holds fragrances better. So here's the question, addressing the question after all that talk, is the only sole criteria of a fragrance to be good is the longevity has to be good? I mean, if the fragrance doesn't perform, is it a bad fragrance? Yes and no. Okay, I have to give you two answers. No, I have to give you diplomatic answers. Okay, because there's no straight one-way answer to this. Okay, yes, because a fragrance, when you put a lot of money, let's say you've been using body sprays, and body sprays, deodorants, they're great. Sometimes they last well over 4 hours, but on most part, they do not last more than 1 hour, and they smell very synthetic. They smell alcoholic, full of alcohol. So when you want to upgrade to something more quality, like a branded perfume, so you spend a little bit more money, not little, few times more. Let's say you've been spending $5 before. Now you upgrade your fragrance to $20. So it's 4 times more than what you have been paying for last few years. And when you upgrade, and you want it as good of a performer as your favorite body spray, or you want a fragrance to last half the day, your criteria is going to be obviously uh, longevity. If you are new in the game, when I was new, I was always looking for a perfume. It didn't last, I would immediately say pass, because I have a budget constraint. Okay, I was not making so much money when I started collecting. So these things matter, like if you have budget constraint, first thing you will look for more quantity than quality. And I'll give you an example. When you're hungry, some people, they are hungry, they go to upper class place to have something nice that tastes good, like duck breast or something like a salmon, and or something like a, I don't know, uh, what else, shrimp cocktail or something fancy soup. And you are a student, you play football all day, you you run around under the sun, you get very hungry. And then when you get hungry, what do you want to do? You want to eat whole lot of food because you're hungry. You want to eat bowl of rice or extra curry, or you want to have a huge burger at McD. So wherever you are, your menu will be different. So when you want to be hungry and you want to eat, you better go for something that fills up your tummy. If you eat something fancy but it doesn't meet your hunger, you'll be disappointed. Same way, this is my theory. Okay, so quality versus quantity. But once you start playing the game for certain years, you've been collecting 10, 12, 13, 20 fragrance, I mean 30 to 20, no, 30 to 50. If you have around 100 fragrances, if you reach that mark, you're already a collector. Okay, 50 fragrances, you're already a collector. 30 fragrances, you're a collector. Because usually general people just have 2 or 3 fragrances tops. If you have 30, you have a lot. So uh, from that point, you will start learning. You start smelling many other perfumes and go to shops, and you see the quality difference. Some fragrances will smell very harsh, they will be long lasting, but they will not be as sophisticated as the more upper class smelling fragrances. And you see some of the Dior, Chanel fragrances. I'll give you one example, just saying as an example. Okay, Chanel Allure Edition Blanche. Okay, known to be one of the most beautiful natural smelling lemon fragrance. I don't know how much I have left, not much. This kind of perfume, it's so high class. This smell, whenever people smell it on me or other people, they smell it on other people, they think this fragrance is expensive, because it's expensive smelling fragrance. It's well over $100 or around $100 price tag. It's not cheap, but it doesn't last all day. Does it make it a bad fragrance? No, it doesn't make it a bad fragrance, because it's an awesome fragrance. So when you go into the game, deep in the game, like I started 2012, my first few bottles, then I started 2015 proper collecting, now 5 years. And when I see my collection, I see some of the fragrances do not last as much, but they are more favorite of mine than say Shura or Azaraprom Legend, some of the beast mode perfumes which are cheap. Periolis 360-degree red, these are great fragrances. I like them in casual setup, but some of the upper class fragrances also last a long time. So different things, different fragrances have different characteristics, right? So I think yes and no in such a way. What is your priority? Do you have a budget constraint? Do you have limitations? You have to either buy food or perfume. I suggest do not buy the perfume. Buy the food first. One thing. Just an example, like buy the necessity first, then luxury item, because fragrances are luxury products. You don't need them to like survive. You need them sometimes because it's your addiction. But if you really have doubts, if you don't have any other way to buy fragrances, I'm sorry, I don't want to make it short, but talkative me, but never mind, I'll finish it soon, I swear. So when you have questions and you don't want to you don't have any way to test a fragrance, you don't want to go to shop, you're shy, you think like, I go to a shop, I'm going to be forced to buy a fragrance, if I sniff it, and I don't have the cash to buy it, or maybe I'm not sure if I want to buy it. So I suggest you start getting some decants as samples, because every country now there are sellers who are doing this service for you, and you can see if the prices suit you. You can buy actually 5-6 different kind of variants of us of decants for a price of one full bottle. In that way you can test a fragrance. You spend tiny portion of money, but you get to test it on your skin, test run. If you're satisfied with one of them or two of them, then you can proceed to buy a full bottle. So I think that's the smart way to approach the game. But if you come and tell me it's still expensive buying decant samples, yes, this is where I will say it's a little bit harsh reality, but fragrance game are expensive. There's no such thing as cheap perfumes, okay? If you want to get into a car game or watch game, you'll have to spend the money. This is the reality. And it's not about just everybody's rich or poor. It's not that. It's where your priorities are. If you really love something, you'll actually go about different ways to make sure you actually can afford what you love, okay? So you sacrifice few things. Let's say you sacrifice your fancy meal, sacrifice your fancy running shoes, okay, or nice dresses just to buy a fragrance. You save up for 3 months. I did that many times. I did that 2 months, 3 months. I saved up so I can buy all my desired perfumes. At this present moment, I'm so happy. I tell you one thing to finish with this. I'm so happy with my collection. I used to have a list like 100 fragrances, next 100, and I had some bucket list. When I go to a shop, I cannot find that many fragrances I need right now. 2 years back, I had a lot of fragrances. I had targets. I go and I target, next time I'll buy that one. So I have this addiction or love for perfumes, which is I would say a little bit crazy, but when you love something, you do something about it, it's possible. Anything is possible, right? So if you love certain perfume, buy that, okay, and be satisfied. Do not buy something you have second thoughts about, okay? And longevity, if it's your issue, buy something that lasts long and just keep using it. Do not look for niche quality in the fragrance like Azura Chrome Legend or Arma of Club New Intense Man. These are $20-30 cologne, and they are built to smell like a little bit synthetic, but in general smell nice to rest of the crowd, most of the people, and they give you bang for buck, right? So that's the talk. Hopefully I could make some sense. If I confused you, I'm sorry, but I'm saying make sure your priority, you know it, quality or quantity. So that's all for now. I will sign out right now. Maybe perhaps later today I'll do the Creed fragrance review. Take care guys, have a very nice day. Bye bye.